What's up, YouTube? I'm back with another video. And before we get started with this topic, if you can hit the like button, subscribe, and share. I'm trying to hit 1,000 subs by the end of the year. And thank you for your support. So Zack Snyder was on the Joe Rogan podcast, and he said a few things about him making DC movies, making movies about Batman and Superman and like that, stuff like that. And he said this, and it went viral.
Like, people are always like, well, Batman can't kill, right? So Batman can't kill is canon. And I'm like, okay, well, the first thing I want to do when you say that is I want to see what happens. And they go like, well, don't put him in a situation where he has to kill someone. I'm like, well, that's just like you're protecting your God in a weird way, right? You're making your God irrelevant if he can't be in that situation.
And so this is the perfect opportunity to say how Zack Snyder doesn't understand the characters that he was written. And this was a flaw we said when he made Man of Steel. But you know, there is a subsection of the internet that will blindly defend anything Zack Snyder does. Because yes, WB screwed him over, okay? I'm not saying he didn't. But he fundamentally doesn't understand the characters he's making, okay? The number one rule, the most pivotal rule of Batman is Batman doesn't kill. And I said this in the video where I talked about the DCEU finally ended and the things I liked and didn't like. I said, if you're going to make this take about Batman, if you're going to go that level, because Zack Snyder is not talented enough or have the nuance enough to make this happen and make it work, as you can tell. But if you're going to make a Batman that kills, 90% of his rogues gallery should not exist, okay? It doesn't make sense that a Batman that's going and killing people using guns has a Joker running around. And if you say, well, you know, Joker went underground, he disappeared. Bro, you tell me a Batman who is hell-bent on killing the Joker won't find the Joker, bro? The world's greatest detective doesn't find the Joker? And if your another point is, well, the arrival of Superman made Batman snap. Why does an alien come out of the sky make Batman snap, but not one of his sons? Well, in this version, this degradation, his son being brutally murdered by the Joker make him snap. Oh, okay, all right then. Like you see how that makes no sense? And of course you could say, well, when Batman first started, he was killing or he was using guns. Yes, that one instance in his 70-year lineage as Batman. What are we doing here? Okay, like it's such a crazy leaps and bounds that people go to defend this when it's just is a dog shit take. I'm sorry, it's bad. All right, that's why majority of his movies don't work. All right, and I like Man of Steel until the final third of the movie. I thought it was an amazing Superman movie. I was one of those crowds where like, yes, you need a lot of action. The other Superman were boring. I mean, I like Christopher Reeve's one, but like Superman Returns is kind of boring or whatever and stuff like that. You need more action. You need a different flavor in it, right? His take on if Superman happened in the real world, how will we react? That is an interesting take, but once again, he's not talented or nor have the nuance to make a palatable movie that doesn't need a 4-hour extended cut. He doesn't. And if the first thing that comes to your mind when you have Batman, one of the most iconic figures in media history, is to, I know 70 years he's been doing this one thing, but let's just, you know, for the hell of it, let's just make him kill people. It's like, at this point, like, why even do that? I'd rather prefer him make a Punisher movie. I think him making a Punisher movie go crazy because, like, Punisher could go off the wall, you know what I mean? You can make it so he could do all these crazy killing and all that stuff like that, and it makes sense, you know? But Batman, it doesn't. Superman, you know, killing terrorists and stuff like that, it's weird. Or him being sad and mopey, it doesn't fit the character, bro. Like, he spent 2 whole movies of not wanting to be Superman, dying, and we're supposed to care? Like, shoving Doomsday in Superman's second movie and killing him makes no sense no matter how you spin it. Of course, they brought him back in Justice League, but once again, you have one of these most iconic characters that we are not established with, and you kill him, we do not care. We care more about the ant dying in Ant-Man, okay? When he got shot in the first Ant-Man, people was more stunned by that than Superman dying. I remember seeing Batman v Superman day 1 in the theaters. I was so hyped, okay? It was a line outside my movie theater by my high school, okay? I ran out of school, went to go see it, right? And it was so boring. People left during the movie. They left. And then when it got to the part where, oh, Clark Kent had a ring for Lois Lane. It's like, bro, y'all have no chemistry. These are two blocks of wood just staring at each other. That was the chemistry for Superman and Lois Lane. The best part was Batman because he had a cool fight sequence, okay? And Ben Affleck carried, okay? But it was dog shit writing. And it took a 3-hour extended cut for it to be palatable. No one's talking about Batman v Superman right now. No one's talking about, man, in terms of the greatest superhero movies, no one's bringing up anything from the DCEU. No one is, okay? Because it's either mediocre to bad, and that is entirely Zack Snyder's entire career. Oh, I think I give him The Watchmen. The Watchmen's cool, and I love 300. I've said this a record for. I love 300 because you could turn your brain off, and it's Spartan slaughtering people. I think it's fire. I think that's off the chain. I need a third one, okay? I really enjoy that. But other than that, like, why WB hiring a director that cannot have a concise movie to save their lives, or is not even the movies that they did right is not well written, to carry their entire franchise and go up against Marvel, the juggernaut at the time, makes literally no sense. And this statement proves it once again, okay? He doesn't know the characters that he's writing about. And I would have, if you have Zack Snyder as a cinematographer, or you have him as a director, but a very strong writer in the writer's room that clearly has control of the characters, then it would work. But as the current state, and you can tell right now about Rebel Moon, he cannot make a good movie to save his life. It's not like M. Night Shyamalan. At least you can at least watch it and it's palatable. But in terms of it being good and you coming back to it, it's impossible. He misses the entire point of the characters, and we're shocked why this franchise bombed. Yes, WB has WB has a lot of the reasons why it failed. But let's not act like Zack Snyder had clean hands on all this, okay? Because the main reason why there was so much feedback in WB trying to take over control of Justice League, because we kept giving them criticism from the fans, stuff like that, of Man of Steel and Batman v Superman. If Man of Steel and Batman v Superman was good, you think WB would be like, yeah, we need to change this, that, and the third about Justice League. Like, come on now. Like, clearly, he had 3 of the most iconic superhero characters of all time in a movie at once, and it bombed, okay? I wouldn't say it bombed, but it very much underperformed from what they were trying to do. It was putting it up against Civil War. Like, it did not perform well against Civil War, okay? And that's a fact. I know some of y'all be in the comments, well, it made over $800 million in the box office. Once again, when you have 2 of the most iconic characters of all time, the most recognizable brands outside of Spider-Man of all time, and you put them in a movie against each other, and you market it like it's the greatest thing on since sliced bread, and people come out and say it's boring, and people leave, even with the extended cut, it is not good. You have Lex Luthor pissing in a jar, and y'all act like this is such high-end substance. Get the fuck out. Get out of here, okay? I'm sorry. I know this is gonna hurt some fanboys. They're gonna be like, oh my god, you're just a Zack Snyder hater. Even though I gave multiple points about how I love some of his movies, it failed, okay? It didn't hit that $1 billion plus. And I truly believe when we get a World's Finest movie or a Batman Superman buddy cop film and that hits $1 billion list, people gonna go back and say, well, you know, we really didn't give Batman Superman a chance to revisionist history. Like, no, bro, it just wasn't good. I'm sorry. And I'm not trying to shit on the man, but like, when your talent is constantly lacking, we need to have an equation. When the mailman constantly falls in my driveway and my mail scatters every day, or he gives me the wrong mail, at a certain point, we need to look at his job, okay? We need to evaluate what does he do. Because if you flop every time you're given a thing to do, you have to go. I'm sorry. And how long is it going to go until, you know, eventually it's going to flop again anyway? You know what I mean? It's like, what WB did was absolutely wrong, and I'm not saying it's not. I'm not sitting here defending WB. I said videos in the past how WB is the scum of the earth, one of the worst studios on the planet, and I'm afraid for the DCU. But let's not act like Zack Snyder is, like, you know, holier than thou. Like, there are signs to prove why this failed, and it makes sense. And the reason why people are so passionate, including me, about Batman not killing people is because that's what makes Batman special. Yes, you have the people that come out in prep time, he can get out of anything, but the thing that makes Batman so cool is because he's trying to stop crime without killing people, right? Yes, he beats them up, of course, but like you put him in a situation where the only way to get out is killing, and he finds creative ways to get out of it because he's the smartest man in the room, and he's the greatest detective in the world. You know what I mean? And that's what makes it special. When if you was making a Spider-Man movie and the first thing he did was rip someone's face off, you're looking around crazy because like. And this one's gonna be like, oh my god, yeah, like that one panel in Superior Spider-Man when he punched someone's face in, that's like totally in character for him. No, it is not, okay? Batman will never be irrelevant because of the no-kill rule, okay? Batman will be irrelevant due to bad writing. And that's where Batman was going with the whole Zack Snyder thing, where he's in the apocalyptic world using AR, you know what I mean? Like, what are we doing here? But those are my thoughts. Let me know down below what y'all think. I'll in the comments, and if you like this, hit the like button, subscribe, and share. Tomorrow my podcast will be dropping, so keep a lookout for that. And see y'all. Peace.